Good morning, Blue Devils. I'd like to take a few minutes today to talk you through some of the important items that we are going to have to remember as we return to the hybrid learning model next week. As I'm sure you've heard already, we will be returning, and our A group students will be here Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Our B group students will be back on Thursday and Friday of next week. The district has worked with the Scott County Health Department, looked through the numbers, and have deemed it appropriate for us to return to hybrid learning. So we are very, very excited to have you back in the building on Monday. We're just going to have to remember that there are some important mitigation strategies that we're going to have to be aware of and remember when we return. Would also like to remind you that there are only 2 weeks left in the term. So we come back next week, and then we have winter break, and then we have 1 week in which we will be taking finals. So things are quickly wrapping up on a term. It's going to be important that you check in when you're not here live over the course of the next couple weeks. And it's going to be important that you get everything caught up and that you're where you need to be as we enter finals week, that first week in January. We are going to be sending the weekly e-blast out later today, and it's going to contain a lot of different information concerning our health and safety plan. Not much has changed since the beginning of the year, but we want to make sure that that's there in front of everyone. And if you have questions on any of that information or on anything I'm going to talk about here in a minute, please feel free to reach out to me or to any of the other administrators here at Central High School. As we return, we're going to have to keep in mind the mitigation strategies that you've heard about here at school and that you've been hearing about everywhere during this pandemic. First and foremost, you're going to have to make sure that you mask up. As you enter the building and you're traveling around, you're going to be required to wear a mask. You're going to need to wear one when you're in the classroom or in any setting in the building where you cannot maintain 6 feet of social distance or greater. It's going to be important that you do so when you're done eating in the lunchroom. Just be very, very cognizant of the fact that this is an important piece in terms of us staying in school. Talked a little bit about social distancing just there. We need to make sure that we are not only social distancing in the classroom and in the lunchroom and in all the settings that we have, but we need to make sure that we are following the directional arrows in the hallways, using the directional stairwells, and making sure that we're not congregating in the hallways when we are traveling. It's going to be very important that we get from point A to point B as quickly as we can. So that we can, again, keep each other as safe as we possibly can. And lastly, and of equal importance to the other two, we need to make sure that we are washing our hands regularly, that we are using hand sanitizer as we enter each classroom. Do everything you can to make sure that you're keeping your hands clean and you're keeping your hands away from your faces as we return. Again, I know you've heard this information over and over and over again. You're going to hear it again on Monday or Thursday when you return. But we need to make sure that we're doing everything we can, once again, to keep each other safe. So we are looking forward to having you back on Monday. Can't wait to see your faces. Make sure you're doing your work over the weekend and that you're in a spot where you need to be when we return. And enjoy your last couple days. We'll see you on Monday. Go Blue.